Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make one of my kids' favorite dishes. I'm making this because I'm going over to my daughter's house here in a little bit. And I told her I would bring her some food, so I was going to make her some meatloaf. And I figured I'd just record it for you guys because both of my kids, this is one of their absolute favorite dishes that I make. And I don't put a whole lot of vegetables and peppers, and well, my daughter doesn't really like the green peppers in there, so I leave those out. But so I start out, I'm making one for my sister too, so I always make this much, but I make 2 loaves. All right, so I start out with 5 pounds of hamburger meat, and then to that I add 2 medium to large onions, and I've got about 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. And then I have 3 cups of the Pepperidge Farm garlic herb stuffing. And then I have 5 large eggs. One-third cup of spicy brown mustard. One cup of ketchup. One package of the Lipton onion soup mix. One-third cup of Heinz 57 sauce. And I'm going to add I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of pepper. I'm not going to put any salt in this because this Lipton onion soup mix has has a lot of salt in it. I love the way this smells. And you can add, sometimes I add cheese to this because my daughter likes cheese, but I just didn't feel like grating any up. So she's going to get the cheeseless version today. And I don't really like the green bell peppers because for some reason, when they're cooked, they just seem bitter. But if I had a red bell pepper, I would probably add that in because they're sweeter and they don't have that bitter flavor. Probably make it look pretty too. And you just want to get it mixed really well and make sure, this is a workout, make sure that you get your meat combined good because you don't want it to start falling apart on you, cracking in the oven. Alright, I think that's probably good. And then I just try to put it in here and separate it the best I can. Let's see. That looks about half and half. All right. And I have these pans. I bought these at Home Goods not long ago. And you can make one big loaf of this if you want. But I usually make 4 so they don't have to cook as long. But I found these little pans which I thought were so neat. It's like a loaf pan, but it has this piece that fits down in it, and it's made for meatloaf, so the oil can drain, and you could just pour it off like every 20 minutes or so. But I thought this was like a great idea. So you just want to, I've sprayed these pans with some non-stick spray. Just want to try to mold this thing the best you can. And if you made this much, it's nice to, I love having like leftover meatloaf on like bread, like a sandwich. So you could even freeze some and thaw it out. So here we have one. And I love the Heinz 57 in here. I put some of that, I put that on the top also, the topping that I make. It just tastes so good and like brings out the flavor. So you see that size fits perfect. Let me take these gloves off. That size fits perfect in these 2 loaf pans. And like I said, you can make 4 also. It takes probably way less time to cook. But I'm going to stick these in the oven on about 425 for probably about an hour. And in between there, and if you don't have anything that catches grease or a baking rack you can put in a dish to let the grease drain off, you know, just check them every 20 minutes or so and just pour the meat off, pour the oil off. But I'll see you guys in about an hour. While our meatloaf is in the oven, I thought we would go ahead and just mix up the topping and stick that in the refrigerator. So I start out with 1.5 cups of ketchup, and to that I add 1/3 cup of Heinz 57. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of pepper. And then I chopped up maybe about 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. And this makes the perfect topping for this meatloaf because the Heinz 57 is spicy. I think you guys will love it. So I'm just going to stick that in the refrigerator and just let all those flavors mix together for about an hour till this is done. Alright, our meatloaf has been cooking for about right at an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and pour our topping on and cook this for another 20 or 30 minutes. Like I said, well, I'll just cook it till the internal temperature gets around 160, 165. You want to have a lot of sauce on there. which kind of protects our meatloaf from getting burnt. All right, they're going back in the oven. Our meatloaf, they are out of the oven and they smell so good. Sorry, sometimes I have to do a voiceover at the end because it's, as time goes by, it might get noisier at my house and things like that. So these pans worked perfect. I left the meatloaf in for an additional 25 minutes till the internal temperature was 165, and then I turned it on broil for a few minutes. But these pans are so great, like the non-stick, and they just slide off. I never had to pour grease off because there was enough space between that little plate in the bottom of the pan. But we're going to cut these and I'll show you what the inside. You don't have to use as many onions as I did, but it's not a very strong onion flavor to me. I just think it just gives it a good flavor. But the meatloaf is so moist. As long as you don't overcook it, it'll come out perfect. Like I said, keep the temperature around 165 finished. I mean, you definitely need a meat thermometer in your kitchen. Okay, it's invaluable, right? But the sauce is so good. The Heinz 57 gives it just enough spice, and the pepper in there. I think you guys would like it. I don't know if you're meatloaf fans or not, but this might turn you into one. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you to everyone that subscribes, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.